and I don't hate these people. To me, when I'm talking to them, I don't hate them. To me, that's love, because I'm trying to correct them. I'm trying to give them some thoughts and ideas that might change their thinking and correct their behavior.
Are you that hard on your son when you correct your son?
You know, you're not supposed to be. So he's 4 now.
Well, what if some of the ideas that people have on the other side, what if it needs to be nurtured in a way through love rather than shouting? I feel like you can be a lot more convincing by just being who you are than to be this this whole separate identity that you are on the front lines. On the front lines, you're extreme, right? So
again, you haven't told me what I've said.
It's you on a bullhorn, man. You're yelling at everybody.
You people need to know the truth. You are in error.
It's you on a bullhorn, man. You're yelling at everybody.
What's wrong with that?
You're extreme. Like, right now, you're chill. And I think people will listen to you. They'll understand. People will watch this video and say, he's a nice guy. But then they'll see you on the front lines and be like, that's not the same guy. Right? Because you're with this bullhorn and you're shouting out these things. And you're right at the front of the front line. Yeah. And so when people on the other side are getting charged up and getting upset, and I stand there and I watch it all happen. Okay. I saw it on May Day. I saw it here at the when Trump came to inspect the border walls. And as I'm standing on the other side, I'm like, if only these people knew he's a nice guy. I met him in Cleveland, chill guy. I leave that Trump rally, and you say, hey, Ken, you need a ride to your car. I'm like, this is not the same guy that was just yelling at everybody.
Why am I not?
Because I just think, just like you said, you won't yell at your son like that when you need to correct him because he's 4.
I yell at my son sometimes.
Yeah, but still, you're probably a loving father.
Not on everything. I don't yell at him on everything.
Right.
But
you're probably a loving father.
Okay, so there's a I don't know if it's Ecclesiastes. There is something in the Bible in the Old Testament where it talks about a time for peace, a time for war, mm-hmm. a time for love, a time for hate, mm-hmm. and there is a time for everything, a time and place for everything.
I don't think the place for you shouting and coming off hateful to the other side is on the front lines around sensitive issues. I think you can accomplish so much more through civil discussion. Have you felt that you have changed anyone's mind through shouting through that bullhorn?
I believe I have. I believe...
I don't think either side is listening to each other.
I saw the wind taken out of their sails.
Because there's so many, and that's why I say it gets mixed up. There's Patriots Prayer, right, with Joey
Gibson.
Joey Gibson. There's the Proud Boys and whoever's in charge of that whole thing. There's America First. And I think that's where people get confused, is when you guys all stand together, some of those groups actually have white supremacists in them. Some of those groups actually have racists in them. Some of you are just pro-Trump. Some of you are just pro-America. But when you all stand together, someone standing on the outside of that camp is like, I don't know who's who in there. I just know that there's people in that camp that carry tiki torches in Charlottesville, you know, and they don't know America First from this group or that group, and that's where things get cloudy sometimes.
Okay, I mean, I would argue that anybody, whether they're a hardcore black supremacist, a Marxist, a white supremacist, I'm not a white supremacist, but they all have the right to speak their mind and let people know who they are and what they believe. All ideas are permissible to be spoken. Are they permissible to be enacted? No. But they're permissible to be spoken. And people will decide what they're going to allow. But the ideas are out there. Yeah, there's a lot of division in the right-wing movement.
It's not effective for someone who seems to be going back and forth. Hate, love, hate, love, hate, love. Like, people wonder, well, where do you really stand? And so he's already been given this image. No one would say that about me. No one would say when they see me out there, if I'm just talking love, 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 no one's going to say he's wishy-washy. He's going back and forth. The same way even with all this Kanye West.
You don't pick a side.
I pick common sense.
Can you give some people the right to pick a side? Can you allow them to pick a side?
I agree, yes. But I think that the extreme sides are who are getting all of the attention, and I don't think that either of those sides are correct, because they just tune out what the other side is saying. If they stand on and try to find common ground, I think that they would actually be able to solve things. And so that's why I try my best not to pick a side, because you and I having this conversation right now, whether I was left, whether I was middle, whether I was on the right, there's going to be things that we agree upon, and there's going to be things that we disagree on. It doesn't make us enemies. It doesn't make us say, you know what, I can't even sit next to this guy. We're still able to sit down and we can talk about things. And I'm sure if we really wanted to hone into it, we would find solutions around issues, because now here's two reasonable guys sitting down talking. I'm learning from you. You're hearing my perspective, maybe even learning from me on some things. And it's about listening to each other. You know, the fact that we can listen to each other, and you might say, you know what, Ken, I never thought about it like that before. And I might say the same thing about certain things that you've said. People on the extremes of either of these arguments don't want to do either of those things.
But there's some things there's no compromise on. If you really are a person of your personal political or ideological convictions, there's no compromise. So if one person says they want no border between the U.S. and Mexico,
I don't think the majority of people are saying, you know, and that's one of the reasons why, like, I kid you not, I have seriously considered running for president, because I'm like, has everyone else just gone mad? Like, I don't understand why there's so few people that are just thinking with common sense. I don't think that my stance in the middle is about being neutral or passive. I think I'm standing on common sense ideas that it's like, what is this side saying? What is that side saying? You guys aren't, these things are so extreme, you know? And so what I want in a politician, what I want in whoever the next president is going to be, is finally someone that just says, look, this stuff doesn't make sense, and it's divisive, and it's causing people to be charged up one way or another. And we saw that. We saw that in the last election. It's like people were on such extreme opposites. No one is standing in the middle saying, let's make sense of this. The
media, I remember 2 years ago, very clearly, watching Tom Brokaw, and he started talking, it was like two and a half years ago, and he started talking about Donald Trump, and I think he said a dangerous plan. And then he started drawing parallels to Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. And basically, as it went on, it was like a 3-minute or whatever long, like little topic where he was talking, and the more he went, it was clear that he was basically calling Trump Hitler. Mm-hmm. And then that meme caught on, because lots of people started saying that. And then Trump's Hitler. And then people on the right laughed, and just everybody dug in. But the media definitely was against Trump.
Yeah. I don't think he's Hitler. I think he's Biff from Back to the Future Part 2. If you watch the movie, the guy who went back in time and he got the almanac, and he came back and he owned the hotels. He became rich, and then the inner cities became way worse, and parts of the country where it's like there's people suffering there, but Biff was doing well, and he had the casino and things because he stole the almanac. I'm like, Donald Trump is Biff.
But aren't Americans doing well now? Aren't they? Aren't jobs being brought back? If the
hate groups are on the rise.
Okay.
That's not good. That's not good. And so even if you bring jobs back but people are dying, if you bring jobs back but people are being incarcerated...
What's your source for hate groups are on the rise?
Oh, it's so visible, man.
But what's your source?
I don't have a source to... It's just Charlottesville, you know,
You were there in Charlottesville, right?
I was in Charlottesville. I watched everything that happened.
I watched a video, and I thought I saw you in the crowd.
I was there.
Right where the cars hit.
The car went right by me. And I saw the car even before he accelerated. I heard the engine accelerate from behind me and came past. These sort of things...
Did he run over? Did he run over Heather Heyer?
I think he smashed into her, and I think... So when he hit the other car...
Okay.
I believe, and I wasn't that close because by then he had gone through the crowd, so I wasn't right at the point of impact. I just saw the first few people hit, and then as he went deeper in there. But I believe, because of where I saw her body fall or lay, I didn't see her.
To the right of the car.
Correct. I believe that she was in the middle, and boom, and then fell to the side.
Did you see her? Like on the
I saw her body, absolutely.
Was her body smashed?
No, but I don't think a body would be smashed from that sort of impact. I think it was just a hit, and then boom, she fell down. Who knows what could have been ruptured on the inside? I know some people were saying it was a heart attack or something like that she died from. I don't know what to believe. I just know as I stood there in that alley, I had to say, where are we heading as a country?
Yeah.
That something like this can happen, and to know that there were groups immediately, literally that same day, I'm seeing posts and hearing posts from hate groups that are applauding that. So when you say, where are my statistics from about hate groups on the rise, it's just from what I've seen and experienced out there on the front lines. I don't like that, and so I think that we should be able to thrive and get a message of positivity out there, even if our way of getting that positivity out there might be different. We've had different upbringings, we've had different experiences. Of course, we're going to think differently about things, but even still, I'm like, I want his message to get across. I do think the bullhorns and the loud shouting and all that, I don't know if that's the best approach for you, but that's what you do. You might say, I don't think you wearing a free hug shirt is the best approach for you, but it's what I do, and so our work is our work.
Fault you.
Exactly.
I like what you do.
Thank you. And
it's not me, but I like it.
And same. Like, I like that you're out there. I don't know that I like your bullhorn shouting at everyone approach, but I mean, you're committed to your work and you're passionate about your work, and for that reason, I say keep doing it. I think we just lost that one again, but we still have that one. But ultimately, thank you for coming down. I'm glad that we got to end this in a hug. I'm glad that you came down here, man, and you're a good guy. I don't want to see you hurt or messed up or anything from any of this stuff. And play it safe.